Right.
Oh, boy.
I think we're rocking and we're rolling. All right. Good stuff. Hey, folks. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Pre-show. We are just getting stuff ready. I'm just making sure we are going live, and we are live now. Awesome stuff. Welcome to the show, folks. Glad to have you back with us. It's going to be interesting, a little bittersweet tonight. Because I was informed of that. I don't even know how to say this. Now notice the smile.
I know. Chris Moose is not here. Woo-woo!
We were unable to fetch Chris Moose.
Yes.
It's terrible. So what we are going to do.
I said, I'm happy he's not here. He goes, who's he? I went. He goes, oh, no.
Yes. So, yes, we were
assassinated Chris Moose. No, I did not.
She is the Grinch that killed Chris Moose.
Did not.
I thought I smelled venison earlier. But
we had venison for dinner.
No,
I did not assassinate him.
So,
yet.
What we will do, and I'm like, no, bad. So what we're going to do is tonight is actually our last live show for 2015. Do you believe it?
Yeah.
Last live show. The next 2 weeks, we are going to be doing some collage and some bits and pieces from shows past in the year. And probably some of the quizzes, I think, will be some of the things that we'll have for the last two shows. So we're not going to have two live shows, either next week on Christmas Eve or on New Year's Eve. So we will be coming back, and let me see if I can actually, where's my cursor? There's my cursor. So we will be actually coming back on the 7th of January, and we'll do our first live show of 2016 on the 7th. So what I think we will do is we will have Chris Moose help host at least one of the two shows, probably for the first of the Christmas Eve show. We'll have Chris Moose help host with that one. And the kicker is with it, if you go to either episode 138 and tonight is episode 139. If you go to those episodes, you can see the YouTube video that Chris Moose made last year for your enjoyment, so you don't go through complete Chris Moose withdrawals.
Yes, they think I have him duct taped in the closet with a ransom note.
I thought I heard. That's all I could hear.
No, he's not duct taped. I don't have a ransom out for him, but It is awfully tempting because I'm not a fan. I said, I think he should go live in Colorado. That's where cold weather animals live.
Is that where they go?
Yeah, that's where they live. But,
I see.
you never know what Christmas things have in store.
It is truly sad.
It is the Christmas season, so you never know what may happen.
So, yes, unfortunately, we will be without Chris Moose, unless I can work something out, and we'll figure that out.
Really? You're going to work something out while you're doing the show?
Yeah, if I can do it.
Really? Who are you going to call?
Moose Busters.
Moose Busters.
Just
really?
saying. No, I will see what I can do. And
really?
There might be a way of resurrecting Chris Moose digitally. And
you think?
I'm thinking.
Well,
if I can,
you just never know.
If I can,
I may have erased him.
You can't. He's on YouTube.
I may have deleted him from YouTube.
There forever.
No, I may have called YouTube and said he is a disgrace to YouTube. And YouTube probably said to me, "Have you seen some of the videos?"
I was going to say, really?
Yeah, I know, but
if that's
whatever.
the worst you got to put up with, lady. Oh man.
Yeah, I took him to RJ and Megan, and they chewed him up.
Oh, they would too. He would.
They're sweet kids.
He's crunchy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Megan has one of the newfies she's the little one.
Right.
She's taken to running to get her toy because they tell her to go get a toy when people come to the house.
Right.
And she runs and gets her toy, and then she'll come back and bark at you with her toy in her mouth.
Murph.
It's hilarious.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah,
evil
that's
Amy.
evil Amy.
Evil
she
Amy.
is.
I'm not.
She is evil.
Oh,
So-
Clydesdales.
So I can't. I'm trying to go.
I
here.
like Clydesdales.
I don't know if I can get this.
Why am I obsessed with big animals?
Well, baby, I'm just saying.
Yeah, not you.
Oh.
The
Okay.
cute
fine.
animals.
Be that way. So I'm just saying.
Are you an animal?
I could be.
Oh, whatever.
I could be an animal. So I'm
Okay,
just saying,
wrong show.
Yeah. So I'm just looking up.
Are you
here.
looking for Christmas digitally?
Yes. And
I can't say that very good.
digitally.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
I think that's Southern.
Is,
So.
is it now?
Yeah, I'm too Southern for that word.
Too Southern for digitally.
Yeah.
All right. So no, actually, I'm going through the records while we're doing this. And I'm going to see if I can actually find. I don't know if they keep it. Oh, look what I got.
Oh, God.
All right. Let's see. We may have something here. If I go to here, and I'm just stopping because there's.
Oh, that cat. He is going to eat Christmas.
No.
That cat's like, I'm ready. Bring it.
Bring it, baby. All right. You can skip
It's
it.
a cat.
It's a what?
It's a crat.
It's a crat.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And there's another crat.
All right, we're skipping the ads.
I don't know what crats are really.
They're
they were supposed to be cats, but they morphed.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
So it's actually
a crat.
A crat. I don't know where this is going, folks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So that's episode 94. I'll have to see if there's some way of pulling this over.
Oh, one can only hope.
I'm just saying that there's got to be a way of bringing it over so that the people can enjoy, at least digitally, the without messing up the entire show. So
then why would you play him
if
you don't want to mess the show up?
Because it's fun. Christmas is a giving being.
Yes. So is my cup.
Your cup is giving.
Yes.
Yes. Never too old to peak.
Yes.
Or if you hold it just right, it just says never too old to pee. I'm just either way. I'm just saying.
Well, I hope so.
But we're holding it above the electronics.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. See, Doc Firewoman's got some Christmas moose stuff out there too. There's got to be a way of doing this. There just is. There's got to be a way. I'm just saying.
I like hers better.
Oh, you like that one better?
No, look.
Oh, yeah. That is the desert version of Christmas.
Yeah. No, he's not quite gotten to that point yet, but
I'm just saying. So yeah, there's got to be a way. So while we're doing this, I'm going to see if I can actually get into this and see if we can get to bring this up, because there's got to be a way. All right, so you keep going. I'll just keep going at this.
Yeah, they love Christmas. They're like,
it's awesome.
yeah. They're like, he's not dead. You didn't kill him.
You can't. His spirit will live on forever.
Yeah, I know.
And they're like, what did you do?
I'm like, yeah, and his little dog too.
He doesn't have a dog. He has a very talented armpit. And I'm just
talent
saying,
is you use that word kind of loose, don't you?
Can be. So if you ever have to check out, we'll have the link in the show notes. It shows up as GeoSnippits episode 94, and that's the one.
I thought you said 98.
No, it's 94. Don't try to confuse the people.
Are you sure they didn't? You didn't say 98.
So you can't find it. Don't confuse the people. That's not nice. So yes. So I'm going there, and there he is. So yes.
I could have sworn you said 98.
No. So I'm going to, I'm just saying.
Oh, mercy.
It's interesting. It really is.
That is not, there's nothing about that that's interesting.
It's very interesting.
How? Why?
It just is.
Why?
It's very interesting.
Funk down. That's what I want to play.
I want to see if this actually... Yay! Merry Christmas. Christmas lives on. We can only hope that transferred. I'm just saying. That should have gone through the board. That would be good. I mean, they wouldn't be able to see visually, but let's just say in spirit that that people would able to see and appreciate and love and adore.
They didn't hear it.
They didn't hear it?
No.
It didn't go out?
No.
Oh, shoot.
So I was the only one subjected to that.
That's a shame. There's got to be a way of doing this. There's got to. I'm just saying. Christmas must live. So yeah, we'll figure something out. Maybe I can download it or something and go that way. But yeah, episode 94. If you really want to go back and appreciate Christmas the way it is, because we could hear it through ours, and apparently it just didn't transfer over into the real world. So we will see. All right, I'm going to download the MP94. Hopefully that's not going to blow us out of the water.
P94.
Yes, could be.
What's P94?
It's just 64. What's P94?
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know.
You said P94.
Episode 94.
Oh.
So, see, it's already downloaded. There's got to be a way of bringing it in. I mean, that's just part of the fun of Christmas and being able to appreciate and do such things.
I see.
It's a shame you couldn't hear it, though.
Yes, that is a crying shame.
Oh, I'm just saying. So, yeah. But anyways, good stuff. Hope your holidays are doing well. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing you beep over there. Mm-hmm. And hope you're getting ready for the holidays and everything's ready to rock and roll. We had an excellent episode yesterday on the Geocaching Podcast where Scott Burks, who happens to be Jewish, and he brought a whole new perspective of how to go geocaching on Christmas Day.
Cool.
Because
obviously he doesn't celebrate Christmas, which is fine.
Right. And so what they did, what they have is something called Geocaching Day.
Okay.
Geocaching Day.
Okay.
And the idea is very simple: is to have all your Jewish friends, and there's like 6 rules involved.
Yeah.
One, you have to start in the before the sun comes up, and you have to end after the sun goes down.
Okay.
Which in Chicago is about 3 hours.
I was going to say that shouldn't take long.
Right. And there's a bunch of other rules. One of the ones is you have to have a flash mob or attach a 10-day flash mob for Geocaching Day. And then you also have to finally end up at one point during the day having a meal at a Chinese restaurant.
I got to tell you, last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Oh, where's
but
Christmas?
The very
Where's
next
Christmas?
day, you gave it away. You don't like Wham?
I like lamb with a little green jelly sauce.
Wham!
Oh,
Wham!
Oh, winch! Oh, wrench!
A wrench!
Yes.
Anyway, we digress.
Very badly.
Now I forgot what it was. Oh, last year.
Yes.
At Christmas, on Christmas Day, I've never gone out to eat on Christmas Day ever.
Right.
ever, because that is just not how you do it. That's not how you roll.
We had a brunch kind of set up at the family house.
Yes. And that's just what you do. You spend Christmas with your family. You do your thing. You celebrate your Christmas, and because that's how we grew up. You know, we celebrate Christmas.
Right.
And you go home, and that's it. And you do your thing. Well, we went out to eat dinner.
Yeah, because we were hungry, and it was like, 7 o'clock, and it was like,
and neither one of us wanted to cook, and I'm like, he goes, "You want to eat? Go out to eat?" And I'm like,
"Where do you go? It's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. Who's open?"
Yeah. So you start Googling all the restaurants that are open on Christmas Day, literally Googling Christmas Day.
And he's like, Chinese places are open. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. So we actually went out to eat at a Chinese place. And I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah. It was great. It was
it was great.
It was absolutely packed. Now, we eat at this particular Chinese restaurant on a frequent basis. Well, and it's one of those things where you go any particular time, and there's maybe 10 tables being used at any time. We went, and it was packed. There wasn't a spot open, no big line, which is cool, but there just wasn't a table open. And you could you get in, and you eventually we got a table and started eating, and everybody was having a great time. They were just having a wonderful, wonderful time.
Wasn't that the day that I got the fortune cookie that said "try again"? Something
like that. Yeah, it was unique.
I was like, "Try again," and the lady beside me started laughing. I'm like, "That's not cool. How does one get a thing like this?"
Well, weren't the other one that you got where it was blank?
No, I haven't got a blank one.
Yeah, you didn't get a blank one?
No.
Or there wasn't one in it, whatever?
No. No. I got one that said try again.
Yeah, I got one that said...
That was your girlfriend.
No. I don't have girlfriends.
No?
No, not anymore. What? I digress. Anyways, we had... I had one that said your wallet will be $8.99 lighter in a short period of time, or $7.99 on Sundays. So yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we actually had a great time. Everybody was laughing and just having a good old time. So so geocaching day is pretty cool, and I'd like to see this pick up in popularity. Scott Burks has been working on this. I think this is number 7.
Is it?
That's cool. Done. And it's just a cool thing, and I'd like to see other people pick up, because let's face it, geocaching is worldwide, and not everybody celebrates the same traditions as everybody else.
Right.
So go.
I thought it was very interesting. Speaking of traditions,
yes,
I did and I don't know how many people who are watching this saw it, but I put a post on Facebook because I read an article about a woman who does not do Santa for her kids on Christmas.
Okay.
That's cool. But she got tired of people asking her, just random people asking her, say the cashier at the grocery store, asking her kids what they got for Christmas from Santa.
Right.
And her kids would say, well, we don't do Santa. And the cashier would be, all right. Like, it was weird. I thought, well, okay, that's not weird. It's just your tradition. So her rant was, stop asking my kids what they got from Santa Claus, because we don't do Santa.
You just got a message from Cortana.
Oh my gosh. Feet are kind of weird. How does that even come up? Anyway, so Southern accent messes her up all the time. So it got me thinking, how many people do I know personally that have different traditions that don't do that kind of thing? So I put it out there, and it turns out I know a lot of people who not only don't do Santa, but don't do Easter Bunny, don't do whatever. Don't even do the Tooth Fairy, which I found very interesting. It had never even occurred to me.
Yeah.
That people wouldn't do the Tooth Fairy.
Well, let's face it.
So I and there was nothing wrong with it. It's not like I was, bashing anybody for doing that. I just found it very interesting. That's all it was.
Fair enough.
and I was just basically doing a poll, really. And then I asked, did you have the tradition when you were growing up that you did Santa, or is this something that you chose as adults not to do? And it turns out people had Santa when they were growing up, the majority, and they chose not to as adults.
It's an interesting thing, because
it's an interesting topic.
If you really think about it, the Hollywoodized version of Santa really was back in about the 1930s. It started really becoming popular. A lot of your main cartoons, your main movies, all those key things Hollywoodized Christmas so much that we were part of the generation that came from all of that. That's now, almost 100 years ago. When that goes in, or at least good 80 to 90, and things change, ideals change,
absolutely.
And the way it goes.
Yeah.
So it's up to anybody to come up and go with the way that they want to, especially with their kids, and it's a different style. I personally have a big fan for the big guy, and I have my reasons for it, and for the spirit and whatnot, and I love Santa. So it's all however people do with that. And for other people to get cross because people ask about that, we are in such a vanilla age of everybody gets offended if you say anything. You know what? Different people meld together, have different cultures from all around the planet. Deal with it.
Yeah, but in that same token, people are from different cultures and do have so many different traditions. I don't think anybody should ask. If
you're in a melting pot, it's gonna come up.
Sure.
If you were in vanilla land, where everything was vanilla and that's all people dealt with, and everybody within the borders of vanilla land, they knew how to communicate with each other, that would be great. Guess what? The world isn't vanilla.
No, it's not.
So you know what? Appreciate and at least acknowledge the belief systems, however they go, and go from there. So that's our political stand for Christmas. So send all hate mail to her and all good mail to me.
Sure, that's fine.
I'm just saying.
I don't care, but it to me it's the spirit.
Yeah,
it's not the guy in the red suit.
Yeah,
but it's just the spirit.
So. And people go with what they need to do. So that's how it goes. All right. Well, that was a good discussion. That's our pre-show for today. And thanks for stopping on by for the pre-show, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. We are going to be starting up the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast in a couple of minutes. And we will go from there. We hope you do have a very good and safe holiday season this year. The weather gets a little interesting. One of the things that I noticed right now in Montana, because Corey gave us a weather report while he could still talk to us, it's going to be like 10 degrees in Montana. And I saw that on Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, here in North Kakalaki, it's supposed to be pushing 80.
Yes.
And so it's like, the weather gets crazy, because we had a couple of really good thunder boomers come through here earlier today as well, some strong winds and what have you. So just be careful when it comes to going out in your holiday travels. All right. Good stuff. And we got good discussion in the chat room too. I think you started up a good topic. So
and I think it's interesting what different people in different countries consider him.
Well, yes.
And I don't think that everybody believes something different, and it's what makes up the world.
Yes, and that's how it goes.
That is how it goes.
Yeah,
but Santa to me is just a spirit of positivity and giving and that type of thing.
Right, and there are other things that are associated that also give with that. So it's however it goes.
My nephew was very excited to receive a letter from Santa that he got. He was on the nice list, and he got a door hanger, and he ran straight to his door and hung it on the door. And he said he was on the nice list, and Santa saw him.
All right, well, there you go.
So that's all that mattered to me.
Well, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, folks. I think we are just about ready. Let me get the backdrop and set up for here, and I think we'll be all set. We're going to be starting up the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast in just a moment. But yeah, good thought for discussion, and that's what we like doing, is bringing up stuff to have you talk about, including deer jerky, because hey,
ooh, deer jerky's awesome.
I'm just saying, it's how things go. All right, so folks, please sit back, relax, get your favorite libation, get your favorite drink and your favorite snack and stuff, because I'm trying to push the button for this to work. Right there we go. Yay. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is going to be coming at you, I'd say right about now. Well, hello, and welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and I'm here with the wonderful, the delightful, the DeWitty wife, Amy, and it is, we are in the GeoSnippets studios here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is December 17, 2015, and boy, this is going to be a lot of fun. In the next hour or so, co-host Amy, the HeadHardHatress, and I will be bringing you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession, known as geocaching. So, yeah, we had a good discussion about holiday stuff and holiday traditions and how things mesh and how people work with it. And, that's how it goes. So we got a good discussion going about that in the chat room right now. So that's awesome. And we'll be talking about that and other winter geocaching smorgasbord of stuff tonight when it comes to that. This will be the last live show that we will be doing in 2015. Next week is next Thursday is the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. And the following week after that is New Year's Eve. And so wife Amy and I will be out doing a lot of stuff.
Keeping you awake?
Trying to keep me awake. I had coffee right here. And we're going to be out doing family stuff. And so what we are going to have are some pre-recorded collages of different things where it comes from over the past year. I'm sure we're going to have some of the quizzes that'll be involved there too. So if you missed a couple of them, you'll get a chance to get your second chance for seeing how well you know about geocaching. And yes, I am incredibly sad. Wife Amy told me about this literally about 10 minutes before we started the pre-show. I forgot Christmas. Actually, I think she had something to do with it. There's some type of skullduggery that's involved. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we will not have Christmas on tonight. Though, we do have a link, and it will be in episode 139 to the YouTube video that was made with Christmas last year. So you can enjoy all the goodies that are provided from Christmas for you to enjoy and solidify your holiday traditions by simply going to GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast and check out episode 139. And there will be the YouTube video for Christmas for you. And also, I believe we're going to try to actually get him here if the poor boy is still active and able to speak to actually help with next week's collage show. So you might get to see him there just before Christmas. So I apologize ahead of time. We will have him on hopefully next week to do that if we can find the ransom note. I'm just saying.
There's no ransom note.
I'm just saying. You never know.
There's no ransom note.
Some kind of skullduggery must have been in place and just couldn't get him here.
I am such a good wife. You just don't know it yet.
Is it now? Wow. All right. I'm just saying. So
I'm just saying.
Anyways, I'm getting another slug of coffee here, so I keep from yawning. That's always good. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. And you might be saying to yourself, hey, how do we get in touch with Andy and Amy, even though Andy is getting his words mixed up right off the bat?
Amy's out in the living room.
I have no cough syrup yet tonight, and I still am starting to slur, so I'm just wondering. But anyways, so how you can watch the show and generally get in touch with us is very simple. To watch the live feed and join us in the chat room, where we have a plethora of people from around the world each and every week.
By the way, where does Chris Moose live?
Chris Moose has his own Chris Moose workshop that he has.
No, literally, where does he live?
He's in
one of the totes.
Totes in the storage.
Yeah, but which one?
The one that probably says Christmas on it, Christmas stuff. He's usually the one that's in one of those. So I'm not exactly sure. It would be one of the Christmas type totes. Just saying. So anyways, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we also have our social media links, including for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's some of the major things that you want to do. So you go into either geosnippets.com, geosnippetsreboot.com, or any of the other websites that we have. In the upper right-hand corner is the area with all the links to our social media. Make sure you hook into that. Some of the things that you want to put on the top of your list are things like, make sure that you have us in your circles for Google+, because each week we ask different information from geocachers on how they feel about different subjects dealing with geocaching. Either something that we're going to have in the poll that we have each week, or if we're going to have a particular subject that we're going to talk about on the show. We require a lot of information from geocachers because they're the best people to talk to about it, and so that's what we end up doing. We also go through and please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because with that, every time we do a vlog, every time we do a podcast, anything that deals with YouTube, it automatically goes into your subscription box, and you don't have to go hunt and peck for it. It's all right there, and you have information to get Chris Moose. I have Chris Moose on the brain. It's sad.
See?
Yep. So anyways, you can get all the different information from us on YouTube that way. And finally, make sure you have us in Twitter, because a lot of times we do Periscope when we go out. And Periscope uses Twitter when it comes to finding different people that you want to be notified about every time they go out and actually do a Periscope session. And it's a lot of fun. So make sure that you get us in there as well. All right. That's it. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your questions, your comments, your suggestions by calling 919-341-9519. Or you don't have to worry about that, especially for our folks that are overseas or get roaming charges. All you have to do is go to geosnippets.com, and on the right side of the screen is our send voicemail tab. Just click onto that, and SpeakPipe comes up, and you're able to record up to 3 minutes. Anything that you'd like to discuss when it comes to the show, subjects that you'd like us to talk about, things that we've talked about in the past, milestones, all those type of things. And that way, the feedback we get to present to all you, and we don't have sad Amy who has to listen to me yap all the time, and actually gives you somebody else.
That's going to happen regardless.
It's me. So speaking of which, we have some stuff from viewer feedback for wife Amy, and I will let you take it from there.
Okay. He says, nobody wants a sad Amy.
Sad Amy.
So I'm sending this in. This past weekend, I was able to reach 2 milestones. Sally and I traveled from Wise, Virginia to a little south of Terre Haute, Indiana, and found Fowler Park Wilderness Stash GCC7, which was hidden in November 2000. I was like, well, that's pretty early if it's got that number on it. And completed the Jasmer Challenge for me. That's awesome.
Way to go.
Yeah. We also visited the Falls of Ohio State Park in Louisville, Kentucky, and Clarksville, Indiana, and visited several earth caches, and I was able to log my 300th Earth Cache visit.
Wow.
That's awesome. I'm sorry that I can't be with you in the chat room tonight, but at least I know that you will be talking about me. I thank you all for being part of my geocaching family. See you out on the trail. Bible Man Rick.
Bible Man Rick and his wife Sally, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And no cloak and dagger. Wife Amy is not going to do a silent auction for Christmas if I'm not watching. I'm just saying. No. I'm sure she wants to, but that's a whole different subject. All right, good stuff. We have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming at you in 2016. The one that we're going to start off with is for the month of January. GXproxy.com is going to be our sponsor of the month. And we are going to feature products from GXproxy, and we are going to give away some live prizes. And I can tell you right now, we are going to give away the grand prize from them is going to be the entire set of 4 GeoCoins. Some lucky winner is going to win this. The entire set of the Legend of Davy Jones. This is a beautiful GeoCoin set, and you are going to get all 4 different coins that are involved with it. That's going to be the grand prize. We're going to have other prizes we're going to give along the month, and plus we're going to have ones that we're going to be giving away live on the show as well. Again, that'll be starting in January 2016, and I am so geeked. I didn't even tell Amy about this yet.
What?
I got a message from Aaron from coinsandpins.com.
What's he sending me?
No, not you personally. But what he is sending us is the first batch
of the patches
of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, glow-in-the-dark trackable patches.
Sweet.
We should have them. They're going through production right now. If everything goes as expected, we should have them the week of the 14th of January.
Yay!
So we are going to set up a special fundraiser because, quite frankly, we need a new computer for the studio. And what we want to do, we're looking at different models of Mac this time. I'm going to actually get away from Windows. We're going to get a Mac Tower, or at least a Mac computer, not necessarily a laptop, which usually is a tower type setup. Anyways, we are going to try to raise somewhere around $2,000.
Okay.
As close that we can get to $2,000 in donations. That's what we're going to do. These patches are awesome. It's the first time coinsandpins.com has ever done a glow-in-dark patch, and they're trackable. So this is going to be great.
About it?
He is very psyched about it. Yeah. He is going to be sending us the first batch coming up.
Yeah. And
they're going to be limited edition. There are only going to be so many of them, and they're gone. So once you get them, they're collector's items right off the bat. There's only going to be so many of them. And the idea is there'll be a minimal donation, which will cover the costs and the initial amount that we need per patch.
Right.
If you want to donate more so that we can actually get enough money to get the computer, we'd greatly appreciate that. We will go over all this in January in just a couple weeks for all that. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we should be able to show you the actual patch. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. And like I said, you're going to have to snatch these as soon as they come out. Once they're made, they're made.
Yeah.
So that's it. So they're going to be limited edition, and I can't wait. This is going to be awesome.
That is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully this will allow us, through you fine folks and the great people at coinsandpins.com, for us to get ourselves a new computer for the studio.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much, and we'll have more information about that next. Like I said, we've got this is our last live show for 2015. We've got 2 refurb shows that we've got coming out, and for the end of the year, and then we'll start up on the 7th of January, and we'll be going from there. So stay tuned. More cool information. All right, let's jump right into our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast Geocaching Poll of the Week, and I will bring this up for wife Amy. This was a rather interesting one.
Oh,
and yes.
I read them every week.
Oh, was it Interesting?
Oh, nice picture, huh?
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to let you go and talk about this fun stuff.
Okay. How long do you, with an average geocache, how long do you search for a geocache before the fun factor stops?
The fun factor.
Oh, I bet I know what you answered.
Okay, so it's interesting. And actually, I was kind of surprised with the results.
Really? They look that long, huh?
Yeah, so go ahead and do from lowest to highest, and let's figure this out.
You didn't pick that one. All right. At 2%, 45 minutes to hours.
Right.
At 6%, less than 5 minutes. Come on.
You got to do better than
that. My attention span's longer than that. Come on.
Squirrel.
Right? At 19% says the fun factor never stops. It is always unicorns and rainbows. At 31% is 20 to 45 minutes. I bet that's the one you picked.
That's usually what I figure is about it.
Yeah.
At 45 minutes,
you're pretty done.
Right.
Yeah. At 43% is 5 to 20 minutes.
Now, see, I would think that switched. I thought it would be switched that the lesser amount would be 5 to 20 and the more amount be 20 to 45 minutes. But that's what you find folks picked, and that's how it is. Now,
okay, now tell them where they can go to find these questions.
Okay, so these questions you can find. We go out on Google Plus and put these out. So if you're part of our Google Plus circles, you automatically get this each week as we send these out. You can also get them off the GeoSnippits website. They're on the right-hand side of the screen, and we try to update them as often as possible.
It says our GSRP Geocaching Poll of the Week.
Right, and it'll be on the right-hand side on geosnippets.com. Give it a shake, and like I said, if you go through and get us in your circles, you'll get it literally each week, plus all the other things that we put out for geocaching.
If you're in my circles and you're not getting them, try getting in his. Yeah, and see if that helps.
Right. Now, the one comment that good old friend Brent Smith, who is one of our best advocates.
Oh, that's awesome. After 20 minutes, it's not fun. It's personal.
Yes. Now, see, that's geocaching for me.
Yeah.
So, Brent, thank you so much for putting that comment in. Absolutely true. Couldn't agree with you more, because that also doesn't tell you the number of times you've gone back trying to get that particular geocache by doing that.
Yeah.
So that's our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast Geocaching Poll of the Week. And we have a new one that just went out earlier today. Be sure to check that out, and I'll get that on the website as well so that you can get your votes in. We greatly, greatly do appreciate it. And we get a large amount of people that each week come in and put in their voice about the different subjects that we choose. Mm-hmm. All right, good stuff. Let's move on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Cache-Advance.com for all your geocaching needs. Cache-Advance.com. Go find it.
And also by coinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. Go through our GeoSnippets links and use the promo code HeadHardHat for 10% discount. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletters to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale. We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, be sure to go to our GeoSnippets websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Absolutely. Moving on. Yee-haw! Yep. Winter Geocaching Smorgasbord, GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast episode 139. All right. So, yeah, we are, like I said, this is the last live episode that we're doing for this year. The next 2 weeks, we're going to be kind of on a hiatus, but we will be having a HodgePodge show coming out on on Christmas Eve and on New Year's Eve.
And maybe he and Chris Moose will find time to do a show together.
We'll see if that's possible.
I will not be visiting with Chris Moose.
Depending on the social scarring that the poor moose may have to go through, depending on how
I have not messed with him.
Treated in captivity.
I have not messed with him. As far as I'm concerned, he can stay in storage.
Well, see, that's how you go. And try living under the pressure of that. I'm just saying.
Vacuum seal him and ship him back to Antarctica or something.
Is that where Christmases come? Is Antarctica?
I don't know. It's cold there.
Yeah, I would think it would be more beneficial being Antarctica, being in the North Pole, but I'm just saying. Anywho, Winter Geocaching Smorgasbord tonight. We got a little bit of everything tonight. Some gentle reminders for all your fine folks out there before you go on your holiday travel. Some things to consider because it's easy with all the rushing around and the family gatherings and such that sometimes you kind of go out and may not be prepared for certain things that can happen, especially for the folks in the northern states where right now in North America, it's definitely starting to turn winter.
All right. Before you start this.
Yes.
I want to tell you something.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Yes.
I was going to do something tonight for you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. But I can't.
Oh. Just saying.
I sent Amanda out.
Okay.
To the storage unit.
Yes.
To go get Chris Moose.
Really?
And she can't find him.
Oh, no.
She has looked literally through every box.
Oh, no.
And she can't find him.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That is sad. That means Chris Moose is missing. I don't know what to say now. I'm slightly dejected.
So
now I really have to go hunting.
So you were going to have Chris Moose here for the show.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I sent her out to go get him. Because she's texting me with pictures of that creepy hallway going, Amy, this is creepy as you know what. And I'm like, the lights will turn on when you walk down the hallway.
It does kind of have like, that Matrix kind of look.
Why are you making me do this? I was like, please, your dad's going to be so happy.
And she couldn't find it.
And she's like, Amy, I've literally looked through every box in here.
That's all right. Well, thank you for trying. That is very nice. Now I'm going to have to find him. Darn.
So I don't love Chris Moose. No, I don't. But
you probably have him in pieces someplace. I'm just thinking.
Dude, we can't even find him. Why would I put him in pieces?
All right, let's move on because
I was going to bring him to you. Come on.
That was a kind gesture. Thank you.
So yes,
I will be the bigger person and say thank you, and then I'll go find out what happened to my poor buddy. All right, so let's see.
Probably put him in the closet.
And he probably is.
Made your child walk down a creepy hallway that she hates.
Winter maintenance. Some things to consider when it comes to your geocaches that you may have placed out into the world. Some of the things that you want to consider, especially if you're new to geocaching, consider the changes of the season and how they interact with geocache hides. So in other words, if you've got that really nice, big, lush foliage and you hid your geocache there and think how well that it has been hidden and how difficult it is for people to find it because it's in all that lush greenness, then in the winter it's probably stark naked in the cold because all the leaves have fallen away and there's your geocache hide may not look the same in the winter.
Sorry.
As it is.
They all think I still assassinated him.
I'm telling you.
Like, no.
We will have a contest next time that we come back
Not
to
this
see
year.
About what happened to Chris Moose. And
I really don't know where he is. I thought he was in the storage unit.
Okay, but back to the show.
Sorry.
That's all right. So keep in mind that the coloring of your geocache may be much more visible in the winter months than it was in the summer months or spring months when you hit it.
No leaves.
No leaves.
No leaves.
Some of the other things that you want to consider for winter geocaching maintenance is snow, ice, and flood issues. Now, I am from Michigan. And
you are?
Yes, believe it or not. And in Michigan, there is quite a considerable amount of snow from the, oh my gosh, there's a lot of snow to, holy cow, we can't get out the front door. So there is a lot of different things that you want to consider with this.
Then there's the South.
And then there's the South that goes, we've got a broom and I don't even own a snow shovel. So you can have that as well. But the main thing is things that you want to consider. One, the foliage disappears. Two, knowing how high the snow gets during the winter is crucial to how you actually hide that geocache. Because let's face it, if you've got an area along a clump of trees in the middle of a field, and during the summer, everything's hunky-dory, but when you go in the winter and there's 8-foot snow drifts, that little geocache may not be as susceptible to having people find them.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that you want to consider. So actually in the northern states, a lot of times geocachers either disable the geocache during the winter because there's no sense of anybody trying to go find this thing, or they actually hide it high enough into the trees and the bushes or wherever they're hiding, so people can actually find it, which makes it interesting because all those 12-foot, bison tubes in the tree that's during the summer are, eye high when you're actually going looking in the winter. So it's, different difficulties depending on either how you get there or how high the tree is or how deep you have to dig into the snow to find it.
Yeah, some of them are some of the people in the chat room are getting snow now.
Right.
And
we had Corey last night make a snow angel.
Did you really?
On Geocaching Podcast. It was funny. Because they had snow already on the ground.
So some of them are getting dustings and some of them are really getting snow.
Yes.
And so, yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. Sometimes people actually change the camouflage depending on if it's like a big ammo box or what have you. They will actually have a different camouflage can for the different parts of the year. So you have the nice greens and browns when you're in the warmer months, and then you have the whites and what have you in the winter months, just to make it a little more set to the season when you're actually trying to find a geocache. The other thing that you want to consider is these geocaches, because you're in the frozen moisture of snow, ice, and water, things tend to get wet a lot of times. So the items inside the containers really should be more protected if you can for the winter months. Things that you never may have even considered is, did you realize if it gets cold enough, pens that you write with can actually freeze and crack in the cold? So that's something that you might want to consider going to pencils during the winter because of things like that.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Yep.
And the metal.
Yeah, the other ones is lids to ammo boxes
can become brittle.
Can actually stick because the condensation and the frost, so it's harder to open up the cans. The other ones is your lock and lock boxes that are so durable during most of the year. Because it gets cold, hitting them with a walking stick or what have you can easily punch a hole in them, so they can very much become brittle when it comes to things like that. And the other ones is if you're in an area where the geocache can flood in certain areas or get a lot of packed snow, you can suddenly have the abominable snowman frozen into the ice pack.
Yeah.
When it comes to things. And many times I've had people say I had to chip out the geocache.
Yeah.
So
that's no fun though.
No, it really isn't unless you really want that smiley.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really, really want it. Not just really, really don't.
And not damage the geocache as you're trying to go out and do it.
I just don't want it that bad.
I'm just saying. So that's some of the things that people go to, and some of the things that you want to consider with your geocaches, especially if you're in the northern states, in the northern hemisphere, and the southern countries when you're in the southern hemisphere. Just saying. All right, good stuff. Next up, holiday travel tips, common sense rules on the road. And I use that term lightly because a lot of times common sense doesn't get used as much as we would like.
You know what? And that's just not in the holidays.
No, it isn't.
That is year round. So this is a year round tip.
Yeah, some of the things that you might want to think about. Now, I know this is crazy, but something to consider. Plan for where you're going to.
Nuh-uh.
I'm serious. Plan where you're going to.
Now you're just talking crazy.
And there are areas that you can get stuck on the road. If so, ask yourself, and the idea is to ask you before you go on the trip, not when it actually happens, what can you have with you to protect yourself and your family while you're on the road? So some of the things that you want to consider. Now, for down here, I don't think they consider this nearly as bad unless it's suntan lotion. In Michigan, in Michigan, we had the proverbial 50-pound bag of cat litter in the trunk. We do that here. Okay. We have the emergency kit that has several large candles, matches, and lighters to light said things. Mm-hmm. Food and water. Now, obviously, if you're depending on where you're at and the conditions that you're in, you usually have a way of getting to some form of restaurant or what have you. But if you're on, Christmas Day and you're trying to get from point A to point B and somebody has something happen, well, then what? Mm-hmm. Restaurants aren't open, things aren't open. What do? You're out in the middle of nowhere, that kind of thing. Make sure that you have just a boxed up kit that you can throw in the back of the trunk for that trip that has extra food, extra water,
and snacks,
clothing if you need it, boots, gloves. Have some extra blankets in there, just in case. So that if something, or a shovel, that's the other thing that I didn't even have in my list here. Have a shovel with you. So if something happens, I can't tell you how many times where I have gone from either North Carolina to Michigan or Michigan back, where I either was chased by or was chasing a blizzard. And to have those type of situations where you're out on the road and suddenly you're doing pirouettes with semis and other things because things got icy or what have you, it's extremely important for you and to protect your family and pets to have the right things in the car just in case, because you don't want to get caught without it. Another thing that you might want to consider as well, that we used to say keep extra batteries for the GPS unit. We did a whole show last week about portable battery packs. Have several of those charged with you while you're on the trip for a couple of reasons. If you've got kids and you've got spouses and other people that constantly are using their phones while you're out on the road, have a couple batteries just in case something goes wrong. So that way, if you don't want to be out in the middle of on the highway in West Virginia mountains in the middle of a snowstorm and have your cell phone battery go dead, we'll use the charger in the car. What happens if that goes out? Have a couple extra batteries in there just to keep things going. Now, this is something that I highly recommend everybody can have access to. And the main thing is tell others your travel plans. Let know the people that you're going to, if you're traveling to somebody, or if you're leaving and somebody's at the homestead, let them know that you're supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time. And if you don't make up, send out a dog sled or something. I don't even want to know. You're laughing, and it's something in the chat room, I'm sure.
Nope.
All right. Oh, your chair's sinking. I've suddenly seen you at literally eye level. Bye-bye. Yeah, her chair just went. That's another thing that we want to get fixed too, is her chair is my old chair.
One moment, please.
So as she's trying to do this. So anyways, make sure that you let people know where you're going so that if something does happen that you're missed. That's the main thing. On iOS and Android, and I think it's still on Windows phones as well, there is an application called Glimpse, Glympse, Glimpse. This is a very cool application that you want to have on your phones, and the reason is you can literally tell exactly where you are. You can tell any people that have Glimpse, and they don't even have to have Glimpse. All you have to do is email them the notification, and what will happen is they can go on their website and open up their email and see your location while you're going on the trip, and you can leave it up for 15 minutes. I forget how many hours you can actually keep the glimpse session going, but people can actually keep track of you while you're on your travels going from point A to point B. Great thing to have, because a lot of times when you're in a bad weather situation, it's very good to know that other people are aware where you're at, and that they can literally pinpoint where your last known position is. So glimpse is very, very vital for when it goes out. And it's also great when you're out geocaching, because that way you can go through and just, if you're out in the middle of the woods or you're going to be late or whatever, you can just send them a glimpse notification and they literally can see exactly where you're at. Very, very cool thing to have. Finally, just consider, never underestimate the situation that you're in. If you hear on the radio that you're going to get snow and you're going through the mountains, or you're going in an area where there might be heavy flooding, ice, any of those kind of situations, and I've been in all of them when it comes to different things driving around, make sure you take heed to what you're hearing, because if you're traveling for hours on end, that weather can change dramatically. I mean, I've had times where literally a blizzard would be coming through, and in one state there's nothing, and then whoosh, you go across the border and you're into literally 3 feet of snow. Take heed of the situation. Never underestimate your situation that you're driving in. Things do happen, and be prepared is the most important when it comes to that, so that you and your family can travel as safe as possible. So good stuff. Make sure that the car is well checked. All the things are going in there. I'm seeing in the chat room, they've got a whole lot of cool stuff when it deals with making sure of stuff as you go out on the trip. Thank you so much for putting out there, guys. Excellent recommendations. That's why I like the chat room so much. All right, so that's it on holiday travel tips. We got just a couple things here. I found out, and I'm going to bring this up here. This comes from the Geocaching Junkie, which I thought was really funny, and I'm going to bring this up on the list. And it's a list. I know it's getting late in the year for Christmas gifts, but you never know what you're going to find when you go from this. The Geocaching Junkie blog says, the adventures of an Irish geocaching addict.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah, and
climbing a tree.
And I'm assuming this is in Ireland, or she's just very Irish, one of the ones. And what they go into, and this is a geocacher's Christmas wish list, and we'll have the link to all the things that we talked about, including glimpse, in the show notes. But it's just a couple of ideas that you may want to consider as a gift for that geocacher in your life. The first one is a special geocoin. There's so many different geocoins to choose from out there. You can find them online. All our sponsors, in one form or another, have geocoins that they provide that are fantastic. You can also, from like coinsandpins.com and Cash Advance and GX Proxying, you can get engravings on the geocoins to make them that much more special. I know that Amy and Amanda have given me coins from the past for different holidays and birthdays and things with engravings on them. And Aaron actually sent a couple to us too that were engraved. It's awesome. It just makes them that much more special.
Yes, it does.
So it's really, really cool. The second one that they have is a geocaching bag, outdoor hiking, cycling backpack, which is absolutely a plus. I am a firm believer of the Army backpacks, because with all the thorns and brambles and briars that we go through on a regular basis, you really want to make sure that your pack is able to withstand all the things that we bushwhack through.
Yeah, no kidding.
So those tend to be something that you want to have, but yet make sure that they're durable enough that they can take the while that we go through. Another one is must-have geocaching tools. Things like a telescopic magnet, telescopic mirror. Now, the cool thing is,
those are helpful.
If you go to Home Depot and somebody's, I'm sorry, and I got we got the window open too.
Sometimes I say stuff and don't mean to say it out loud.
That's right. I'm getting used to it, or I've learned to turn it out. Anyways,
it could be.
You can a lot of times at Home Depot and some of the department stores, you can get bundles of these. For some reason, they like putting them together because I know you can
It's
get
like bundles of joy.
It is bundles of geocaching joy. So you can, a lot of times you can get the magnet, the telescoping mirror, the grabber, and sometimes they will all be wrapped together. And for like, some of them are like $5-6. I mean, it's really inexpensive, but these are absolute must-haves for geocachers when they go out for that. Let's see. Next one, geocaching containers. The ones that she's actually showing, they say Evo micro hides, and those are those little.
Oh yeah, like the little plastic containers that go into the point that you like to stick in the ground.
Yeah, they used to use them for blood ampules for testing.
Well,
for
you
blood.
can use it for other stuff.
But you can use it for geocachings and other good things, not the ones that make you cringe. So they're awesome.
They use it for like DNA testing too.
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah. So it's good stuff, and plus they make evil hides.
Yes.
Number 5, hiking boots or walking shoes. Definitely a plus when it comes to geocachers, protecting your feet, and especially all the areas that geocachers tend to go. Having a good pair of hiking boots it can make and break your day.
Ooh, waterproof ones. That would be nice.
Yes, you can splutch all you want.
Splutch.
Yes, or splurch. Either way, you can go through and get your feet wet.
I'm not sure what those are.
And it's the noise you make. But that keeps your feet nice and toasty and dry, and you're able to out and go geocaching. Good stuff. Geocaching books. There are a bunch of them out. I just got notice from Michelle that her children's geocaching book, I think, is just going live. So you're going to be hearing about us. It'll probably be up on the website very, very soon. Her new geocaching book's out. There's, of course, Scully's with... or Cully, I should say.
That's Scully.
Yes, I'm thinking X-Files for some reason. For Cully, he's got a book that came out for how to puzzle cache. For Podcacher, they did a really, really cool thing. And matter of fact, it actually shows it in the link here. They have immortalized Sean, which is awesome.
They have.
And
I think that is an awesome idea.
Sean and his friends go geocaching, and it's an activity coloring book.
Yes.
It is very, very cool. I saw some pictures of it when I was with Sonny on the Cache and Release podcast on Sunday. We had 10 different podcasters on, all that were on. And yeah, it was really good. And Sonny actually kind of showboated the Sean and Friends Go Geocaching activity book. It is really cool. Check out Podcaster by all means. Cully was also involved with making that as well.
Was he really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I think it's awesome, and there's a lot of books that you can consider for that, but please make sure you give Podcaster a look and check that out.
I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, it is really neat. Also, geocaching clothes. We love this stuff. We like the sayings. We like the drawings. We like the cool things that you can do with geocaching clothes. Get us some. We like it. So yeah, neat stuff. Big fan for number 8, a geocache maintenance kit.
Oh yeah.
You know, definitely, you never know when you have a geocache that needs to be fixed, repaired, replaced, what have you, and have all the goodies for you to do that as well. So good stuff. And of course, they have duct tape.
Duct tape. Yeah.
So that is awesome. And then also something silly.
I would totally do that.
Yes, they've got some things for the for your smartphone to have your cases, your gel cases and your hard cases for it. There's one out there that says, I love geocaching. So yeah, good stuff, and promote your activity that you do. They've got a cool ROT13 decoder key ring. I thought that was really neat.
That is neat.
Yep. So you can go through and play with your ROT13 decoding or encoding. And then finally, what they had was a geocaching trip. Man, you know, whether it's the afternoon, the weekend, or a whole week away going someplace, get that geocaching in. I love seeing how many people are out there now periscoping their trips. They're going out there, they're going to different places, they're going to different environments, and they're showing people vicariously through them a quick, couple minute show and tell of them finding a geocache or getting through their adventures for geocaching. Very, very cool. And it's greatly appreciated because it's a lot of fun to be able to see all the different environments. So anyways, that's from Sarah, and she says, happy caching. And again, this is the blog that we'll have in the show notes. And this is the geocache.
Yeah, that's a great list.
Yeah, the geocacher's Christmas wish list from the Geocaching Junkie. And we want to say thank you for letting us show this tonight and to discuss it. So good stuff. All right. Well, that's what we have for tonight. And I think it is time to move on. Here we go.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts and your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippits, we thank you.
Absolutely. Not only do we have PayPal available for you to become a contributing factor for the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast, we also have Patreon. So you can become a patron for our show, and we greatly appreciate it. We have thousands of viewers and listeners each week that listen and watch our show, and surprisingly enough, we have relatively few that actually go through and say, hey, we want to help Andy and Avy keep doing these fantastic shows and contribute a few dollars each month. So if you would, please, we greatly appreciate it. You cannot help enough when it comes to things. We need a new chair. We're working on the computer.
You saw what happened.
You saw what happened. Things happen, and that doesn't count all the hosting and everything that it does for the actual show itself. So please, if you're not already a patron, please consider becoming one. Go to geosnippets.com or geosnippetsreboot.com, and on the right side of the screen, click on the Patreon graphic, and it'll show you all the rewards and different things that we do for you fine folks so that you can get a little something extra and also becoming a contributing factor for the GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. So thank you for the people that are donating, and for the ones that are considering it, please do so. It's just a couple bucks each week, and we greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much again. Let's move on. All right. It is time for the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cash Dash. So let me explain what that is. Each week, we give away prizes to you fine folks, and it comes from some of the best companies in the geocaching world. And quite frankly, they want to tell you fine folks about the products that they provide. So they send us some of these products. We turn them into prizes. We give them to you, and all you have to do is answer a simple little question or so, and it makes you eligible. So each week we do this. It's called the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cash Dash. Now, we're going to tell you about the one that we did from last week for episode 138, and then we're going to show you this big one because we're only going to be going away for a couple of weeks. We're going to give you a few weeks to get your entries in for this larger than normal geocaching package that we're going to be doing for the show on the 7th. So let's see what we've got here. Wife Amy, why don't you do the question and the prize for episode 138?
Okay. Proxy, it's a goodie bag.
Yay!
It has a purple whistle, a trackable Trek tag, Bushwhack Champion bracelet, a blue bison tube, and a path tag pendant display holder, which is very cute. You can actually use it as like a little necklace or a pin.
Or a Christmas ornament.
Or a Christmas ornament. Black Fire Woman.
Very, very cool stuff. And
all right,
the question was,
what do you have to do to become a geocaching.com charter member?
Yes.
And the answer is geocachers who bought premium memberships the first year they were offered and have maintained them ever since.
Yes, and
that's what you got to do.
You automatically become and continue to be a charter member.
She said, "Yay, ornaments."
That's awesome. So what we have here is our random number generator that takes a number between 1 and the total number of correct answers that we received for episode 138. I push on the button and it gives me a random number to go by. Now, wife Amy has her magic geocoin over here that she's going to flip, because I also have a list, as this comes up, of all the correct answers that came into us for this particular episode. So
that was really a good flip.
That's all right. So you go ahead and flip away.
There we go.
And then what happens is, if wife Amy gets heads and the random number that I picked was 4, it is not 4. If she picked heads, we would count down, in this particular case, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top. If she picked tails, we would pick from the bottom of the list up 4 from the bottom, and that would be our winner. Just gives that little bit of extra randomness as we do each and every week. Wife Amy, are we going from the top down or from the bottom up?
Heads.
Heads. All right. So we literally have, let's see. I want to make sure that we get the right answer. And we go from there. It's loading. It's loading. Oh, okay. Somebody new, actually, I think. I'm going to load this in. And the winner is, for episode 138, has the correct answer and the entire definition. So thank you for putting that in. Goes to Uncle Casher. Uncle Casher from Burlington, Kentucky. Congratulations. You won that fantastic prize. And good stuff. So you say to yourself, hey, wait a minute. This is cool stuff. They just gave away a bag load of stuff. How do we get into this so we can win? Well, quite frankly, if you don't win, you don't play. Reverse that. Back it up. If you don't play, you don't win.
Yeah, I was like, let's try that again.
Let's try that again. So if you don't play, you can't win. So that's the number one thing.
Yeah, but if you don't win, then you haven't played.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. All right. Good stuff. So to be eligible to win a prize from the Cash Stash, all correct answers for this show, the one for episode 139, must be in by 12 noon. Now get this. January 6th. This is going to give you a couple weeks to get your answers in, but I wouldn't wait. I'd get them in as soon as you do it so you don't forget. January 6th. Go through and get your answers in, 12 noon. You're going to email it to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's gsreboot@gmail.com. The subject line you're going to want to put Q1 for question 1. Episode 139 for this week's episode. So subject Q1, episode 139. All correct answers will be put in a drawing, just like tonight. I can't talk. It does not cut it out right.
I do have something in the other room that's going to make you happy, Dave.
Good. Okay. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we will have a second prize.
Several things.
Okay.
Actually,
we'll wait and see what happens. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room. This isn't that kind of show, folks. I'm sorry. That's just how that goes. We have a second prize, but sorry, not tonight.
It's Christmas.
We are going to have other things going on. So, wife Amy, why don't we get this through and tell the fine folks
he can get his head straight.
I can think and chew bubblegum and walk and talk at the same time. Question 139. What is the prize?
Oh,
this is going to be awesome.
There's somebody in the chat room that I know is immediately going to know the answer to this.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
The
prize
is
from GeocachingInsights.com.
Lots of stuff.
Geopack, Red Reflector.
We got a Red Reflector geocache.
Geocache, yes. Cable geocache.
This is the first one I think we've ever given away. It's a coax cable.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever given away one of those.
The geocache goes in the end of it. That one's cool.
And Dragonfly Geocoin.
And a Dragonfly Geocoin. All three things.
Awesome.
That's a lot of stuff here. That's quite a value. Get your answers in by January 6th.
Yeah.
And we will go through and give that away to one lucky winner on the 7th when we come back live for 2016.
Yeah.
And I can tell you already that's going to probably be our New Year's resolution.
What?
Our geocaching New Year's resolution will be that day, the first one back in 2016. That's what we'll be doing.
What, geocaching?
No, we'll be doing our geocaching resolutions. So we actually set goals.
Oh.
What's the question, wife Amy?
All right, the question. Why have those? Come on. The question is, and if you know it in the chat room, do not tell it.
Okay.
What day and date is the winter solstice for 2015? What day and date is the winter solstice for 2015?
All right. Get your answers in, and we will have that make you part of a drawing. Get it into gsreboot@gmail.com, and get your answers in and make yourself eligible for all those cool prizes. We have never done the coax cable before. I'm really kind of interested to see what that looks like for a cache. Good stuff. All right. Excellent things. I think it's about time to wrap up the show. Let's move on. All right. Well, please let us know what you think about our show. Things that you like, things that you'd like to see more of, things that you'd like to see less of. Let us know so that we can make this show your show. And we can't do it if you don't tell us. I'm just saying. So give us suggestions.
Be nice.
I would love for many of our viewers and watchers to send me a list, something as simple as this. Send it to gsreboot@gmail.com. 3 subjects about geocaching
I gotta tell
you would
y'all,
like us to talk about. 3 subjects. Each one, I don't care if we get multitudes of the same one, I'll go from that. But give me 3 subjects that you would like us to talk about in 2016, and we will put it to the list.
I got to tell y'all, every week he looks at me and says, "What should we talk about?" And I
get the same answer.
And I look at him and go,
Exactly. Now think of my dilemma. All right, we're in year 3 for the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast.
We've talked about everything.
Not only do we talk, and even if it's stuff we've talked about, something you would like us to hear more about, let us know. But the kicker is with this is that not only do I have to come up with subjects for the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, I also have to come up with subjects for the Geocaching Podcast itself. So that's 2 subjects I got to come up per week. So that's 52 weeks times 2.
That's 104.
That's a lot of subjects to come up in a year.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't do 2 shows.
Yeah, but I must. It is fun and people like it. All right. So send everybody 3 subjects, gsreboot@gmail.com, subject show ideas. And just send it to us, 3 ideas that you would like us to talk about. Think about it. Subjects that you'd like to talk about. Seriously. Tell us 3 things that you would like us to talk about. We'll put it to a list and we'll start.
Non-techie, please, because I get bored.
They use techie too, because we like talking tech stuff too. All right. You might, but they don't. All right. Good.
All right.
So, like I said, let us know what you think about tonight's episode. Please become a patron and be a contributing factor to keeping us live and going each show, each week. And we promise we will go out and do more geocaching. It's just been some interesting stuff. So we will get out more geocaching, more and periscoping more, and all the other things that we do normally did on a regular basis, we will be doing back in 2016. I promise. And finally, tell other geocachers about our show so that they can come and get into all the fun stuff with us in the chat room and listening to us each and every week. All right, wife Amy, you go ahead and close out the show if you would, please.
All right. I want to thank our sponsors, cash-events.com and coinsandpins.com. I want to thank Andy HeadHardHat Smith and thank everyone watching in the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely. We also want to say very, very special thank you to the wonderful, the delightful, the de-assassination of Christmas.
I did not assassinate him.
Amy, I'm sure he didn't feel a thing. So we want to say thank you to wife Amy
still
for everything that you do.
Alive.
Thank you so much. And, thank you, folks. Please, we'll see you again on the 7th. Make sure you get your answers in for the question for GeoSnippits. The question thing that we do with all the stuff and the cache dash. that kind of thing.
Wow.
Coffee ran out, folks. It's going quick.
Clearly.
I think it is time to say bye-bye.
Yes.
So,
and as Salty says, no moose were harmed in the making of this show.
Of course not. It happened before. So we will see you folks in a couple of weeks. We will have a montage next week on New Year's or on Christmas Eve and also on New Year's Eve. And we will see you on the 7th. So as we like to say it on the GeoSnippits Studios, see you out on the trails, folks.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please keep your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or use our website Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2015 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for stopping on by. We had a great time. Lots of people in the chat room. Thank you so much for stopping on by. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We will have a montage, and we will be back in 3 weeks. So have a good one. Have a safe holiday. And again, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
And watch my Facebook page because I'll be posting pictures of little ones.
All right. So do that. And don't forget to send those suggestions in. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you next year. Bye-bye, folks.